Hey you, welcome back to the library. Grab a coffee, let's talk nostalgia. For you younger folks, you really don't know how good you have it these days. Information is delivered right to you with program and movie streaming, news apps, and other forms of modern convenience. Video game sites have instant access to gameplay footage in 4K resolution, letting you see exactly what you'll see come launch day. In my youth, the excitement came in the journey to get that information. I still have vivid memories of riding my bike to whatever grocery store had the latest issues of EGM, picking up the next issue of Game Fan magazine from the mall EB Games, and so on. Poring over pages looking for the latest screenshots of upcoming games, no matter how small or how blurry. As time went on and the internet was slowly getting a foothold, screenshots made their way to video game websites, but the technology to capture those images was still in its infancy. While a far cry better than the original days where people took literal film photography of the screens, internet speeds were just not ready for prime time yet. Most videos you wanted to watch of a game had to be downloaded from the publisher's site first, over a dial-up modem. Imagine YouTube if you had to download every single thing you wanted to watch in 3-minute increments. Even funnier were the resolutions of the time. You're watching this video in 1080 progressive, which means it's an image that measures 920 pixels wide by 1080 pixels tall. The PlayStation's native resolution started at 256 by 224, so on a modern setup, screenshots would be this big. No, really. In all my time working on Game-Rave, be it the fanzine, the website, or the YouTube channel, taking screenshots has always been my favorite pastime, aside from actually playing the game. This is just something about capturing a single moment in a game to sum up that entire game's experience that's just breathtaking. One of the most iconic screenshots was for Street Fighter II, as Ryu and Ken unleashed their respective fireballs at each other. You sat there staring, thinking, okay, it's the same move but they're two different characters. Are they rivals? Brothers? Is one better than the other? And it built into the hype even more. Compare that thought process to these, and I'm not kidding, official screenshots from Midway's Ultimate Mortal Kombat arcade press kit. The characters are just standing there, doing nothing. Twice. It's one of the reasons why I try to provide as many screenshots as my server will allow. I want modern folks to be able to feel what I felt, that anticipation and curiosity that only imagination allows while looking at a still image. It's just something you don't see anymore in a video-driven world, especially in magazines. That was at least, until developers moved the concept to within the games themselves. Photo modes are not only amazing screenshot creators, but they allow gamers to illustrate the world they see in the game. Even the most limited photo modes provide ways to tell stories without ever saying a word. Admittedly, I was late to this party, but now it's one of my favorite things to do in a modern game, and it's a great way to just relax. When it comes to the PlayStation 4, I'll create a backdrop of the game I'm currently playing to set the mood as my desktop. So many of my favorite moments, like this one in Mass Effect, can take on new meaning. It's no longer just talking to Yara, it's finding the one quiet corner of the universe to enjoy a small amount of solace with your in-game special someone. Horizon Zero Dawn has been one of my favorite sources for this, as the coloring and grading options allow for gorgeous visuals not normally seen in standard gameplay. It's a new way to see an old favorite and brings fresh appreciation to the source material. Which brings us back to the back half of the episode. Appreciation for the long-lost options in older games. Ballerina Toshinden was the cornerstone of the PlayStation's success, pummeling the Saturn's Virtua Fighter and being the door kicker for what 3D games could look like early on. While the game did allow players to subtly mess with the camera during gameplay, a little sleight of hand in the menu system, combined with a cheat code, breaks the game wide open for screenshot fans like myself. So, interested? Join me on the PlayStation. Alright guys, welcome back to Toshinden. So, first things first, we need to go into the option screen. And normally, if you look under camera action, there'll be a couple of choices, but the choice we need isn't in here right now. So what we're going to do is we're going to set the control type to A2. That removes the dodge rolls from the shoulder buttons. Now if we go back down here, the new choice of yourself pops up. That's the first step. The next important step is we now need to go back up to the controller type. And if we scroll all the way, a new fresh set called A5 will pop up. That's what we want. So now we're going to exit out. And we're going to go to versus human, so I have control. So let's pick Cayenne. He's cool. And then we'll do Sophia for player 2. Now, normally you would actually have camera controls like this. Do things cool. But now in our new mode, we are going to do a fireball, our uppercut here. With it paused, I'm going to hold down the 4 thumb buttons and press select once to remove the normal HUD and select once again to remove the health screen, or the health bars. And now we have a whole new set of moves with the controller where we can pan, zoom in, go up and down. By pressing select, we'll actually toggle between the original camera controls. So we can do all kind of cool things. And then on controller 2, pressing the select button will actually advance the game 1 frame at a time. And if you hold it down, you'll go in slow motion. Isn't that cool? And that's actually a really cool pose. So now that I have that, we're going to go back to our controller on controller 1, change options and zoom in. And with my Elgato, take a screenshot. And there you have it, guys. I'm not going to lie. I didn't know this mode existed, and I found it about a month and a half ago while just lightly breezing through a Tips and Tricks magazine looking for something completely unrelated. And had I known this mode existed, my coverage of the game might have been a little bit different 25 years ago. And to bring that full circle, it's actually why a lot of times in older games, especially in the PlayStation, the Saturn era, you'll see programmers cheats for clean screens, where after inputting the code, it would remove all the pause information and you'd see the game frozen in time. It was so that people like journalists could take a clean screenshot without the blur of the game in motion. That's how far we've come in video capture. So eventually at this point, I'll probably spend my time trying to track down which games have those features, but you don't really need them in a modern world because of like Elgato and the HDR captures and stuff like that. But seriously, I absolutely adore taking screenshots, and I hope you guys appreciate them. Not even just mine, just them in general. And don't always rely on video footage, because the reaction you get from a screenshot really is different than watching the video in motion. Take care, you guys. I'll see you next episode. Take care.